Greetings. I hope you're all having a great day. The purpose of this module is to help you do some real fundamental lit review work on a research paper. So at Queens, you have access to the Everett Library, which is awesome. It gives you an awful lot of databases that have great peer-reviewed articles, books, thesis, and it also has a lot of dissertations. And it's accessible to you. So when we do a lit review, the important thing when sitting down to do a research project is we want to know where we are in the conversation relative to all of the previous research that's been done, what's been done on theory. And to be successful at that, you need to do a lit review so that it really informs the question that you're asking for your particular research project. So I'm going to dive right into this, and we're going to go right to the Everett Library, which is on the right-hand bar once you go to your My Queens landing page. And it will bring up all of the features and access points to get to the library. And so you can do this all from the comfort of your own home. Rarely do you need to go into the library unless you just need to pick something up or talk and have a personal meeting to help you get more skilled in doing these types of things. And so you can see here there's a catalog button. There's an interlibrary loan that I'll touch on later. There's some fundamentals about the library, and then there's library hours. The staff at the library is fantastic. They're there. They really love to help people. So there's any question that you ask will be invited, and certainly the library team really does help you expedite some of your research work. In this case, I'm going to go right to resources. And one of the more exceptional inventions in the last 15 years has been Google and Google Scholar. And so I'm going to just share with you that this kind of helps consolidate all the academic research in a huge search engine. It's not the only search engine you should look at, but it's certainly one that captures most of the peer-reviewed research in in multiple topics. And so it's really a good consolidator. Make sure when you go to this page that you read through this piece, because there's a few things that are really important. Once you get to your Google Scholar page, you'll want to tie into the Everett Library links. And so as you can see here, there's some check boxes that you'll need to identify there in settings and make sure that you hit everything that relates to Queens that's available to you. It may be a little confusing because I am using the UNC Charlotte Library, for which I have access to, and it's called Atkins. So don't confuse that when you see it. Your interface should look similar with exception to that. So I'm going to go right to Google Scholar and get started. And so you can see the landing page here is a bit different than regular Google. If we were just doing, looking for pet videos, this isn't the place to do it. So we're going to tie right into all of the academic work that's been done in scholarly research. And so I'm going to, let's just pretend I'm going to do a paper on employee engagement, and I'm interested in things like loyalty and maybe generational differences. So I'm going to go ahead and just start off by typing in employee engagement. So you can see I've already pre-populated this because I've been working on this paper for a while. I'm going to click on it, and immediately it's going to pop back a whole lot of results. So there's 907,000 articles related to the keywords employee engagement. Again, keywords are really an important element of the research process. So be clear about some of the things you're looking for, and it'll probably move you a little quicker to what you're actually trying to explore rather than being general. So employee engagement's important. You can see a whole host of articles here. They're all hyperlinked to bring me to the journal that has actually published the article. And then you can see over here on the left, I can look at it based on custom ranges. And there's an awful lot of things that you can drill down on here. And then on the right, this is an interesting thing. As I mentioned, I'm using the Atkins library, not Everett. But the Queens library should show up similarly to where you can just go right to the PDF and see the document that you're actually trying to find. So if I click on this particular document, it brings me right to the PDF, which is awesome. I can download it. I can put it into my reference management system like Zotero or Mendeley or EndNote. or I can just simply download it so that I have it to read, and if I don't have that many references to worry about. So that's the actual article. A couple other features that are really important here. These little quotation marks are great because it brings the citations up, and you can see that this one gives you APA, which is primarily what you'll be using at McColl. And you can see it's giving you the author, the year, gave you the title, and then it gave you the publication, the volume, and what issue it's in, and then it tells you the page number. So this is a pretty good job of doing an APA citation, but you always need to double check because sometimes they'll capitalize the title, or they often won't even get the year right. So you do need to reconfirm, but it gives you a little bit of a head start. Also shows you how many other how many times this has been cited by other scholars. So this may be in an academic paper, or they may be used it in their research. And so just a rule of thumb, anything that's been cited more than 100 times is probably pretty relevant and probably gets a lot of use in the academic world. And so at 2,600 citations, that's an awful lot, and it's probably a pretty important article related to employee engagement. And so this gives you the author, it gives you the publication, it tells you what year, and then it gives you just a quick outline of the abstract. And so this is very helpful for expediting your search. But I want to go a little deeper. So here we go. I'm going to click on the meaning of employee engagement. Oops, apologize. Let me go back to that. I want to look at how many other people cited this article, because I need to know just a little bit more. I want to dig in on the idea of loyalty. So I'm going to click on cited by, and you can see up here it says the meaning of employee engagement. These are the 2,600 folks that have cited this article, and I want to look within their articles and see if I can dig a little bit deeper. And so I want to go to loyalty because I want to know more about that. Excuse me, let me take that away. Loyalty comes up. I apologize. That is not what I'm looking for. So I want to go look at loyalty. And again, it brings me to a smaller search. So I've gone from 2,600 to 1,300. And I'm interested in thinking about, wow, that's great. I have a whole host of more articles that I can look at. But I want to go a little bit deeper. So I want to know about the generational differences. So I'm going to loyalty and generation. And let's see if I can get a little bit tighter in my search. See here, you can have 387 articles. They're usually collated by citation and year. And so most of the things that are in your target search are going to rise right to the top. And so lo and behold, here we go. I love this article. Customer loyalty. This kind of taps into the project that I'm working on, and it brings me into actually seeing the journal article. So that's a quick way for you to really narrow down. We went from almost 1 million to 387 in about 3 clicks, which is awesome. As I mentioned over here on this right sidebar should give you a link to what document you're looking for, and it should give you a PDF to get to access it. And so if Everett Library doesn't have it, this won't be here. And so then you have to go to get an interlibrary loan. And so I'm going to go over here to the citation area and just pull this citation with me, because I'm just going to pretend like the Everett Library didn't have it. I'm going to copy that citation, and then I'm going to find my way back to the library. Certainly a faster way to do this. I apologize for the multiple clicks. But I want to go back here, because if we don't have it available online, then you can easily go to the interlibrary loan and request it. You should rarely ever have to pay for a book or pay for an article, because the library is able to access it for you fairly quickly. So you go into this space, click on that, and then create a request. And once you create a request, it'll bring up as much information as you can share about that article. You want to share it. You want to click on whether it's an article or a book. If it's an article, it's usually to you within a couple of days via PDF. And if it's a book, it may take a bit longer. But as I mentioned, the library staff is eternally helpful at getting that done. And so that's another approach for you to get to the things that you want. And just because it's not published or not available to you, I really encourage you to try to access an article that is really primary to your research. So that's just some quick approaches on how you can do a base level lit review, and I wish you well in your research and have a great day.